The C-SPAN networks bring you long-form public affairs programming from the nation's capital and are a public service of your television provider. C-SPAN, created by cable.
In that case, if you would please rise and raise your right hand, I'll swear you in. Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Ms. Barra, you are now under oath and subject to the penalties set forth in Title 18, Section 1001 of the United States Code. You may now give a 5-minute summary of your written statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee members.
Please pull your microphone close to your mouth and make sure it's on. Thank you.
Can you hear me? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee members. My name is Mary Barra, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer of General Motors. I appreciate the opportunity to be here today. More than a decade ago, GM embarked on a small car program. Sitting here today, I cannot tell you why it took so long for a safety defect to be announced for this program, but I can tell you we will find out. This is an extraordinary situation. It involves vehicles we no longer make, but it came to light on my watch, so I'm responsible for resolving it. When we have answers, we will be fully transparent with you, with our regulators, and with our customers. While I cannot turn back the clock, as soon as I learned about the problem, we acted without hesitation. We told the world we had a problem that needed to be fixed. We did so because whatever mistakes were made in the past, we will not shirk from our responsibilities now or in the future. Today's GM will do the right thing. That begins with my sincere apologies to everyone who has been affected by this recall, especially the families and friends who lost their lives or were injured. I am deeply sorry. I've asked former U.S. Attorney Anton Valukas to conduct a thorough and unimpeded investigation of the actions of General Motors. I have received updates from him, and he tells me he's well along with his work. He has free rein to go where the facts take him, regardless of outcome. The facts will be the facts. Once they are in, my leadership team and I will do what is needed to help assure this does not happen again. We will hold ourselves fully accountable. However, I want to stress I'm not waiting for his results to make changes. I've named a new Vice President of Global Vehicle Safety, a first for General Motors. Jeff Boyer's top priority is to quickly identify and resolve any and all product safety issues. He is not taking on this task alone. I stand with him, and my senior leadership team stands with him as well. And we will welcome input from outside of GM, from you, from NHTSA, from our customers, our dealers, and current and former employees. The latest round of recalls demonstrates just how serious we are about the way we want to do things at today's GM. We've identified these issues, and we've brought them forward, and we're fixing them. I have asked our team to keep stressing the system at GM and work with one thing in mind. The customer and their safety are at the center of everything we do. Our customers who have been affected by this recall are getting our full and undivided attention. We are talking directly to them through a dedicated website with constantly updated information and through social media platforms. We've trained and assigned more people, over 100, to our customer call centers, and wait times are down to seconds. And of course, we're sending customers written information through the mail. We've empowered our dealers to take extraordinary measures to treat each case specifically. If people do not want to drive a recalled vehicle before it is repaired, dealers can provide them with a loaner or a rental car, free of charge. To date, we've provided nearly 13,000 loaner vehicles. If a customer is already looking for another car, dealers are allowed to provide additional cash allowances for the purchase of a lease or new vehicle. Our supplier is manufacturing new replacement parts for the vehicles that are no longer in production. We have commissioned 2 lines and have asked for a 3rd production line, and those parts will start being delivered to dealers next week. These measures are only the first in making things right and rebuilding trust with our customers. And as I've reminded our employees, getting the cars repaired is only the first step. Giving customers the best support possible throughout this process is how we will be judged. I would like this committee to know that all of our GM employees and I are determined to set a new standard. I'm encouraged to say that everyone at GM, up to and including our board of directors, supports this. I'm a second-generation GM employee, and I'm here as our CEO, but I'm also here representing the men and women who are part of today's GM and are dedicated to putting the highest quality, safest vehicles on the road. I recently held a town hall meeting to formally introduce our new VP of Safety. We met at our technical center in Michigan. This is one of the places where the men and women who engineer our vehicles work. They are the brains behind our cars, but they are also the heart of General Motors. It was a tough meeting. Like me, they are disappointed and upset. I could see it in their faces. I could hear it in their voices. They had many of the same questions that I suspect are on your mind. They want to make things better for our customers, and in that process, make GM better. They particularly wanted to know what we plan to do for those who have suffered the most from this tragedy. That's why I'm pleased to announce that we have retained Kenneth Feinberg as a consultant to help us evaluate the situation and recommend the best path forward. I am sure this committee knows Mr. Feinberg is highly qualified and is very experienced in handling matters such as this, having led the compensation efforts involved with 9/11, the BP oil spill, and the Boston Marathon bombing. Mr. Feinberg brings expertise and objectivity to this effort. As I have said, I consider this to be an extraordinary event, and we are responding to it in an extraordinary way. As I see it, GM has civil responsibilities and legal responsibilities. We are thinking through exactly what those responsibilities are and how to balance them in an appropriate manner. Bringing on Mr. Feinberg is the first step. I would now be happy to answer your questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Barra.